when you go out on patrol, there's always two members, two SAT members they call it. The security alert team is what they call us. Okay, so there's two members. When you're going, the senior member had to keep in contact with the base, which was 44 miles away. Keep the base and the launch facility aware of what you see. 5 minutes before you would get to a missile silo where an alarm was going off at, you would have to actually start calling in.
Right.
And then the launch facility manager and personnel at the base commander's office letting them know what you see.
Yeah.
And if you see anybody close to the perimeter of the missile silo, you're reporting all of this. And an animal, a rabbit or whatever, or a piece of paper, even a piece of paper, if it got over the fence and was
triggering the alarms.
Yeah. I mean, tumbleweeds, anything that triggered an alarm.
Was it a motion insensitive alarm?
Yeah, there was always. There was heat alarms, motion alarms,
all types.
Vibration alarms. Yeah.
So you saw a tumbleweed out there, and you
well, you would report. Well, I see a tumbleweed, but still, yet
tell them what was going on.
Yeah, but still, yet you'd have to go through the whole security protocol.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and that's going and visually checking everything going and. If I was the senior then on that time, I stood by the vehicle talking.
Got it. I got it.
But the member would go in and check everything. Then he would check with me. Then I would call back and let them know what he sees. While I was standing by the vehicle, I had to have my weapon out.
Okay, we're working out.
Yeah, up and ready.
Up and ready.
Yeah. See, so it was.
Was your safety off?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It had to be.
Had to be off.
Yeah, it had to be.
So you were saying yesterday that one day you got an order to go out. The alarm had gone off.
Yes. And
what? Do you remember when that was? Roughly.
The summer of 1972, and me and an airman. He was from New York. He was from New York City. He was my SAT member, and had just started there about 2 or 3 months before. And him and I had responded to that same missile silo earlier that day, and that satisfied everybody that it was just the wind. Later on, right before we got off duty, it was late evening time, just about night. The same alarm went off, so we had to respond. So we went back out to respond to this.
What time was that?
I'd say about maybe. It had to be about maybe 7:30, something like that.
Just getting dark?
Yeah. But just getting dark. And me and Airman Hope went out and we were sitting there and I was explaining to my launch facility manager what we saw. And we were about to start going through the protocol when this huge blinding light that I can't describe, but it was just so bright, and then these flashing lights with it started to raise from the ground. I guess I don't know if it was completely on the ground, but it was huge.
Huge.
Yeah, it was huge,
and nearby where you were. I mean, how far away? Estimate.
Well, I'd have to say about maybe 300 or 400 yards. And,
away from the missile facility.
Yeah, perimeter. And
the missile perimeter, and it's 304, and it's huge.
Yeah.
And bright.
It was huge. For a fact, it's so bright that he and I both had to turn our heads away from it. But I had never seen anything like it, didn't expect it, and I was really shocked and afraid at that time, and so was he. But anyway, the light was so bright that you know what I'm saying, it seemed to me like the higher it went, the brighter the lights got. But,
Any color?
it was just a weird flashing color.
Flashing. Oh, it was flashing.
Yeah, it was flashing.
Pulsing?
Yeah, it was bright. It seemed to me like the vehicle itself was lit up, but there was lights that was flashing. And,
Glittered it, yeah.
And as it lifted up, you know, I was trying to see exactly what was going on there, whether or not it was a helicopter, whatever it was. But
You couldn't identify it?
no, I couldn't identify it. And it got up so far and hovered a little bit. There was no sound.
No sound.
No sound at all. And it hovered a little bit and kind of went real slowly across the sky. And we called it in, and I just told the launch facility manager that I didn't know what it was, and they were saying that it was setting off alarms, it was setting off this, it was setting off alarms all in that area.
All in that area?
Yeah. And
did they sound concerned?
Oh yeah. And the base commander's office was very concerned too, and we had a mass alert go off.
Mass alert
at that time. Yeah, I mean back at Minot, all around that area. So I know for a fact they were scrambling jets at that time.
They were scrambling jets.
Yeah, and they ordered us back in, and they sent 2 more security guys out to replace us, and talked to me and Airman, several hours about it. And one of our cooks came and was telling everybody to come to the window. And when we went to the window, I mean, everybody in the facility came to the window to see what he's talking about. And there was objects that was in formation going across the sky. And
this was the same night?
Yeah, it was right after we had gotten in. And
how long did it take you to go back in from the missile perimeter?
Oh, I'd say about maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Yeah. And so you go to the window of the building.
Of the rush facility.
The rest facility, yeah, that's right.
And there's these objects
hovering.
Objects in formation going real slow, and we watched it. I couldn't tell you how many minutes, but everybody was just really fascinated.
How high up do you think they were?
Oh man, way. Well, I can't even say about how high up, but I mean, we could see the objects. That's what.
Were they lit?
Yeah, they were lit up.
So this is later that same evening. Would you have an estimate of what time that would have been?
That'd be about maybe about 8. 8:30.
And so these are lit objects in formation. What kind of formation?
Looked like it was a broken off V, kind of like. I mean, it was a V, but it was some objects missing to the point where it was.
Yeah, I see.
Like this.
Yeah.
But they just all of a sudden just peeled, man, just disappeared. We watched them till we couldn't see them anymore, but it was pretty fast. It just peeled, and of course we, me and Aaron was called in to the base. We had an appointment to see the base commander the next day. And
back at Minot.
Yeah. We had to go in.
And what did they say?
Well, it was kind of not too much of nothing. They didn't fuss at us or anything like that. But they wanted us to make sure that we knew that we needed to that this was Air Force business. You know what I'm saying? So
Air Force business.
Yeah, man. We didn't want to be letting the media know about it. They mentioned the media. They mentioned our families also.
They mention your families.
Yeah, but
was that like a threat or just kind of a suggestion to?
Well, I actually took it as a strong suggestion.
A strong suggestion to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and then we went to lunch, and when we got back from lunch, they said that they had a person that needed to talk to us, and that did we have any objections to being hypnotized? And I didn't, but Airman did at that time. He was really nervous, and he asked me. You know what I'm saying?
Did they tell you why they wanted?
No, they didn't. They just said that they wanted. He told us that he wanted to hear the whole story in a different environment. Yeah,
and there was a hypnotist there.
Yeah, and he actually hypnotized us, but I had a cold and my nose kept running, and I kept sniffing, and I guess it was throwing him off because he stopped the session 2 or 3 times, and you know what I'm saying, he had to go get me some Kleenex, and that wasn't working right, for a while till I could get my nose kind of going on, but I knew I was hypnotized because when he asked us if we could raise our arms, and I couldn't, and he said, you're not going to be able to raise your arms, and now you can raise them, and he said, do this and do that, and I did everything that he asked us to, you know what I'm saying, but then, as far as the questioning goes, I don't remember most of the questions that he asked.
So do you think they were just trying to find out more information what happened, or were they trying to do something to get you to forget about it too?
I think both.
But
I think both.
He might have implanted
find out what we knew, yeah, and how they actually treated us on that was hey, we've been through this before.
Oh, we've been through this before.
Yeah, that's the way that I took it. But,
yeah.
But then, right after that, our lunch facility manager did admit to us that wasn't the first incident.
There was what?
That wasn't the first incident.
That wasn't the first incident.
Of unexplained things going on.
What did they call them? Unexplained things?
Yeah, they just call them unexplained incidences.
Unexplained incidents?
Yeah.
Did they mention anything about the missiles being affected? Were they offline, or did the alarms just go off, or were the missiles really adversely affected? Did you ever find out?
Well, like whenever that there was an alert like that, you didn't know.
You didn't know.
What was going on. I'm not saying it goes to.
Gary, you mentioned something about a discoloration to your face, and from a result of that object taking off. Mm-hmm. You said you were at a burn on your face.
Well, we had a dark. This side of our face was darker than the other parts of our face.
How did that last for a while, or was it like a sunburn or something, or what?
Like mine actually started to blister up.
It blistered up.
Yeah, and they just gave us some cream, and I went to the doctor about 4 or 5 times but the cream worked.
The cream worked.
The cream worked, and I mean it was kind of like putting wax on, but it worked. And
was it painful?
Yeah, it was. It was for a minute when it started to blister. Then the same thing.
The side of your face that was facing when the thing took off.
My right side, his right side, because he was sitting right here. I'm driving the vehicle, and you know what I'm saying? They was telling us that that it was the lights, that the lights were so bright. Wherever we were, the lights were so bright. So light burned from light bulbs. There was nothing else that burned us like that. So
you were inside the Jeep when you saw that?
Yeah, inside of the SAT truck. Yeah.
The SAT truck.
Yeah,
SAT truck.
Yeah. And like we're driving. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got your 38 in your holster here, your M16 is locked up right behind you.
Yeah.
And even that had a little different color to it.
So that had a different color too.
The M16, yeah. They actually took the M16s.
They took them
from us. Yeah. We never saw those again.
They took them from. Did you tell them that it was discolored, or they could see that it was?
No, they actually examined the truck.
They examined the truck, and you never saw.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that they wound up taking from that truck.
And did they ever suggest to you, what it was that you had seen? I mean, they're dancing around this a little bit. They're telling you not to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying for the safety of your family, you don't. But what did they tell you it was?
Yeah, we had to sign about 3 different papers.
Well, what did the paper say?
As I remember, it was military disclosure. Something I can't remember what it said.
Military disclosure.
Yeah, man. But it was just for the Air Force, for the Air Force to know about it. Nobody else.
So basically, not to tell anyone.
Yeah.
Are you breaking that agreement by talking to me about it now, or did it expire after a certain amount of time? Was it for life?
No, they never said how long to.
They never said. That's.
Yeah. I've actually back when I first got out, I was explaining to somebody that you know what I'm saying, my experiences when I was in the military, what I had experienced, and didn't think nobody would believe me anyway, but I just have mentioned it too much since then, but it's mind-boggling. That's all I have to say. It was mind-boggling then, and mind-boggling now. I think about it every day. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it was that actually took off, what was it that was flying in formation? Why did my lunch facility manager explained to me that wasn't the first time. We weren't the only soldiers that had seen unexplained things like that.